Good morning, Epic 7, or afternoon as the case may be. Thanks everybody for the well wishes. I've kicked the food poisoning to the curb. I feel a whole lot better. I'd say 100%. I may even hit the gym today. So that having been done, while I was resting up, the guild killed off the floor 1 priest, and we are ready to progress to floor number 2. Now, before you jump into floor number 2, you want to make sure you collect the rewards on this main board. There are some experience points hiding in those rewards, so you always want to check them because they can boost your level in the game. Now before we jump in, let's talk about floor number 2's map. The map is surprisingly similar in size to floor number 1. There's just a couple of bottlenecks and extra mini-bosses to fight. Now, the general consensus is that the guild chests on this floor really aren't that worth taking. So I'm splitting the teams up for my guild like this. We're sending the blue team to the left mini-boss. It's got 2 leaves in it, probably not that worth, but there's a warrior statue over there, so we want some people to get access to that. Everyone else we're sending to the middle island to get that major guild chest, the epic guild chest, and then they will split up and we'll all converge on the wardens. Now, unlike floor 1, the wardens on this floor are elemental, an ice warden on the left and a fire warden on the right. So make sure you check the elemental penalties for fighting these bosses and take the appropriate team. Once the wardens are down, we'll converge on the top island. We don't know for sure what's in the left guild chest, but it's probably just another artifact charm. So chances are we just rush that island and go straight for the priest and skip those guild chests. We'll see more when we get there. Once again, I want to emphasize, this is the plan that I feel is best for our guild. Your guild may be different. You may want to rush the central island and skip both of the bottom islands. You've got to come up with your own game plan based on your guild's specific needs, size, and activity level. So now that the priest is dead, we're able to use the teleport to move to floor 2. If there is anything left on floor 1 that you feel the absolute need to get, you need to do it, because once you use the teleport, you cannot come back. Now, I'm on the blue team, so I'm going to head north and west to the mana lift. We'll grab a scroll on the way. Hopefully I get a decent one this time. No more break the boxes and ranger ones. I really don't want to do a fight, and it's only 30 more experience. So I'm going to grab this middle one. I do have level 2 warriors, so that one I do have access to. It's 2 extra provisions and 70 experience. It's fine. And I know I've got a relic option open because my food provisions are down, and also since I leveled I have 2 relic spots open. Hey, I got a warrior booster. Knights and yeah, definitely taking the wolf gauntlet. Perfect. So my warriors are even stronger now. Okay, so up and to the left is where the mana lift is. Looking at my map, I don't see anything else in this area of the map that's worth getting. So I'll just head straight there and head over to the left side island. Now, as I said before, some people may want to skip this left side island because the guild chest there only has leaves in it, which are nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure it's worth the extra provisions. But there's also a warrior statue, so you want to send at least 1 team over there. Only 5 people can touch the warrior statue, so sending more than 1 team there is probably a waste. Okay, I'm looking at my map again, and I see a scroll up and to the left, so I'll take that. Wow, it's the same one I got 2 times on floor 1. I guess I'm breaking the chest. I'm getting 50 experience points. And I know I've got 1 free spot open for a relic, so let's see what I can grab there. Night class, monster fights, 12 provisions. I won't say no to 12 provisions. I'll replace the 10 provision one that's already been spent, grab the 12 provisions. My experience points in the bottom left corner are close enough that using this will push me up a level. On floor 2, this is worth 250 experience points, substantially more if you have the exploration journal. And there is the warrior statue, and there is the fight. I think I can slip up and grab that warrior statue and have it ready for this fight. Now, before you use any statue, you want to max out that statue's class. So that takes me to level 3 warriors. That takes me to level 4 warriors. Nice, level 5 warriors. So here's something to consider. I said this before, you can't exceed your class level, and I'm already at level 5 plus 1 for my artifact. I'm already at level 6 warriors, but I'm only level 5 in my class. But statues and relics exceed that. So even though I'm only level 5, I now have level 7 warriors because I used a statue and a scroll to push beyond. I won't be able to manually level my warriors much anymore, so I'll have to start focusing on other classes like soul weavers until I get my class level to at least level 8. I'm sorry, until I get my overall level to level 8. Now, I'm pretty proud of this team. The Consortium of Pain stacks burns on you, and then he detonates the burns just about every turn. So you want to have a good source of cleanse, and also he reduces healing to the point where your healers won't be able to heal at all. So a barrier unit is really, really good in this. The barriers act as artificial health. It's really the only way to heal yourself after a certain point. So for this fight, I'm taking Luna as my principal damage dealer and Camilla as a secondary damage dealer and defense breaker. Acades I put on Doctor's Bag just to give her an extra source of cleanses to really help. She's there more for the cleansing than the healing. I put Luna on a good DPS artifact and Camilla also on a good DPS artifact. And Mediator Queric, here's the tech. Put him on Prophetic Candlestick. You want him to be able to spam his S2 for barriers and his S3 for cleanse and immunity. That's the real key to this fight.
If you're scared, run.
So I want to save the barriers for later, so I just S1'd. Since Camilla can self-attack buff, there's no need for Queric to use his S3 out of the gate.
I'm on my way.
Didn't get the defense break, but that's okay. There's the burns, so I can go ahead and cleanse those away so they don't get detonated.
You're going to get better. Don't be scared.
And see if I can get a defense break off Luna's S3. Got it. I'll use the attack down just to make him do less damage, and the barriers keep me from really taking any damage at all. I lost my attack buff though, so I'm just going to use the S3. Without an attack buff, Camilla's S3 does more damage than her S1. I'll cycle myself here.
Ridiculous.
And if there's a defense breakup, Luna's Soulburn S1 will do way more damage than her S3 will. Just keep that in the back of your head for later. And now I can cleanse these burns so that he can't detonate them. And this is the rotation that you keep up through the entire fight. The Prophetic Candlestick on Mediator Queric really pulls this together. I'm running it so fast you can't see it, but that guy must have resisted my Camilla Soulburn at least 5 times, so even though I come really, really close to full clearing it, I miss it by about 70k health. Which is really disappointing. Somebody else is going to have to come in and waste the provisions to do one hit on this thing. But if you're looking for a good team, this is it. You could replace Camilla with Kitty Clarissa, and you could replace Luna with just about any very good damage dealer, though you do want to have a defense break somewhere in the team, so make sure the damage dealer has defense break on it, otherwise Camilla's pretty integral to the success of that team. So I count the hexes to see if going to the left side or the right side of the warrior statue is better for getting to the mana lift or to the mini boss, and it looks like the right side saves me 1 extra step. And it is a Golem style mini boss. I've got a really good team for the Golem mini boss. It's nearly a full clear. So the teams you load up is your damage dealer. In this situation, I took Fire Ken. I'll explain that choice in a minute. Conqueror Lilius for the Vigor to activate Fire Ken, Kitty Clarissa for the dual attacks, and I used Rowana because this mini-boss does counterattack often, or extra attack often, so that helps keep you healthy. The choice of Fire Ken was a mistake. I don't know why I had it in my head that this was a green golem, not an ice golem. So Fire Ken missed a whole bunch, and as a result my score was rather low. If I had taken Alencia, for example, she has a defense break in her kit and would have done significantly more damage than Fire Ken did. But it is what it is. If maybe I had put a symbol of unity on Ken, then maybe I could have pushed this further, but for some reason I put that on Kitty.
This is the start. Meow. Do your best.
So the trick to this fight is just to burst in as much damage as you can and not worry too much about healing, because Rowana's counterattacks are going to heal. Now he does get stackable defense penetration on you the further the fight goes. My original plan was to have Rowana get her S3 up just in time for the boss to kill everybody, and then everybody would come back and the penetration would be reset to start again, and I would be taking very little damage and could get everybody back and healthy again and push the fight to the end. But I didn't time Rowana's raise skill properly, and it wore off the round before my entire team got wiped. So if you've got better crackerjack timing on the resurrect skill from Rowana, you could potentially double your score, because I think once that damage or defense penetration is reset, he won't do enough damage to kill even at 30% health, and then Rowana will start healing everybody up. You can soul burn her S1 to put barriers on everybody. You should be able to get control of it and basically start the fight over with no defense penetration on your team. Didn't work out for me, and even though I was a little bit above average on Fire Ken landing his hits, he missed a lot, especially when I soul burned his S2 into his S3. Both times I did that, he missed, and it cost me a lot of points. But you know what? I think even one guildmate running the same team using Alencia instead of Fire Ken will be able to clear the rest of this bar just fine, so we should be able to advance on the Warden later on this evening. I, however, am out of provisions, so this will be my last video for today. Tomorrow, knock on wood, the Wardens will be down, and I'll be able to give you a video on defeating the Priest. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great one.